Hey, this is Stacia, and I'm going to share with you my first round of the Ohio Chess Congress 2023. And I know it says round two, but I had to take a first round bye because I needed to go to the zoo with my family. So, okay, I wanted to go to the zoo, I'm not going to lie. So it was fun, but I did arrive bright and early Saturday morning. I guess not that bright. To play round two against Peter McKenna, rated 1870 USCF. I was rated 1669, but looking to get my rating up to my true strength, and he opened with e4. I went e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop to c4. This is the Italian game. I went knight to f6, and he kind of surprised me by playing the move knight to g5. Now, I saw this attacks f7, so I played d5, takes, and that attacks my knight. Now, I actually had my first think of the game here because I've been playing a lot of knight d4 in this position, which is the Fritz variation. And knight a5 is the old and stronger main line I used to play. And I thought, this is a classical time control. Like, I shouldn't be playing dubious stuff because it can be exploited. So I did choose knight to a5. I'm proud of myself for that. I tend to stick with what I feel I know the best and as I've been playing most recently. But I played my old friend knight to a5 here, and I do think this is the correct choice. He goes bishop b5 check. I blocked it, takes, and I take with a pawn. Even though I have a fractured pawn structure and I'm down a pawn, the white pieces that were so aggressive a second ago, hitting f7, are now being pushed back. The bishop must move now. The knight will have to move when h6 comes. When it goes to f3, it might get hit by e4. So black has seized the initiative, and the counterattack is in full force. And guess what? This is another one of those very sound gambits in chess, but with the black pieces. He played bishop to d3. This is the same move I play with white, seizing control of the e4 square. And if you're wondering why this move is played, blocking the pawn, because, when my under 1,000 students play bishop d3 and block their pawn, I've never been so mad. I'm like, why do you block your pawn? I've told you 10,500,000 times, stop blocking your center pawn. But then, of course, white is making concession blocking their pawn to gain control of e4. Why? Because if I go h6, for example, they'll go knight to e4. And now I can take, and f5. But wait a minute, can I? Because there's queen h5 check. And now if I try to go g6, the queen takes g6, that's check. The bishop will move next. And this is not a happy day. Black's getting in trouble. So, and I know this because I played bishop d3 in the past. So I didn't go h6, I simply played knight to d5. And we're going to exploit this bishop d3 move by first doing a discovered attack on this knight. So now the knight must move, and we don't even have to play h6. And now if they try to play their knight e4 move, which is kind of the whole point of the bishop being on d3, to control this square, now we really do have f5. And on queen h5 check, g6. This works, right? Without the pawn committed to h6. Now g6 is supported by the h-pawn. The queen must move away, and actually black is just winning material here. We're just going to take this. So there you go. So in the game, I went knight to d5, and he played knight to f3, which is correct. So I went knight to f4. Knife f4, of course. Because I want a positional advantage. I want to take their bishop and double their pawns. Okay, and maybe win a pawn. No, honestly, I was looking at that. Okay, I'm looking at both. It's a little bit of a fork, right? We threaten both things at once. Now white has to decide how they want to play. There's two moves here, I believe. They could castle, or they could play bishop f1. Bishop f1 just looks so funny, though, doesn't it? Like, literally, like, all the pieces, except for one, are on the back row in the starting position. So, to me, that's compensation, no matter how you slice it. So he didn't play that one, because it does look ridiculous. I've played that, though. He played castles. All right. Castles make sense, right? And the knight on f3 is still a good defender of the king. But the problem for white is that it's hard to develop with the bishop on d3. Blocking the pawn. They'd love to play something like d3 and bishop e3 and knight c3, and then they'll be fine. But unfortunately for them, their bishop's blocking their d pawn, so I still have issues here. Okay, so I went bishop d6. Now, I know I could take this right away. I'm not so sure how great this is, though. I wasn't convinced. I mean, for example, there's already knight takes e5, which is a tempo on my queen. So what am I doing with my life? I wasn't a big fan of that. Let's see what the computer says about it. Yeah, it says white's +2. Wow, okay, whatever. I didn't think it was that profound. But okay, bishop d6. And then they went rook e1. Yeah, I went bishop d6. Why am I doing this? Because I have dreams of playing e4 at some moment, opening up that bishop. And if I can play e4 and kick this knight, that knight will no longer be defending the dark squares over here, and I can play something offensive like queen g5 or queen h4. You know, I like to attack. What can I say? Rook e1. And now I had a decision to make because I want to prioritize development. So what I'd like to do is castle here. But if I just castle, okay, I mean, I know they can win a pawn, but I wasn't so afraid of this. This reminds me of a Marshall attack. And don't I just win the pawn back right away, too? Like, why is the rook on e5? Oh, actually, there's a good reason. Okay, so never mind. I can't take the pawn, but still, why is the rook here? It looks weird when all the other pieces are in the back row. There's these double pawns. This doesn't seem right. I feel like there's some way to play from here, and I'm pretty confident I could find it. So I don't think I was ready to sack that pawn, but what I wasn't ready for was after castles, they don't have to take the pawn. They could just play bishop f1 here, and now this is different, right? Like, the bishop is a key defender. Now white's ready to play g3, and I don't even have knight h3 check anymore because bishop takes, and just the light squares feel so safe now. There's a new defender in town. His name is Light Square Bishop. He's like, yeah, I moved like 1,000,000 times, but now I'm awesome, and I'm going to go on g2, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I didn't like that, actually. So I decided to get something for my activity here, and I played knight takes d3, and now the white pawn structure is a bit weird, and the d4 square is a little bit more of a hole, and I'm dreaming of playing c5 and sinking my knight into that d4 square. So that was sort of the idea here. So after takes, though, I just castle. Why not? And now he played knight c3. I felt this is the best move too. And I went bishop to g4. Now, I'm actually not sure about this move. I thought maybe c5 was the right move here. I know it looks weird, but it stops d4 and it opens up the square for my knight. It's also just a thematic move. But the problem I saw is that there's knight e4. And that attacks the pawn and my bishop. So maybe bishop e7 is good here. Actually, you know what? I bet you bishop e7 followed by f5 is good. Shoot. Okay, I'm going to ask the computer if it likes c5 or not. Oh yeah, c5 is one of the top moves. So c5, and if here it says Wow, knight c6. Okay, I didn't really consider that one. Letting them have that. But now black's getting very coordinated. This knight is coming here. If they take, we can take with this pawn even, or this pawn. Whichever pawn we like. Okay, so I agree with this actually. And the fact that we're still down a pawn and black is -1 according to the computer speaks to the dynamic compensation that the black pieces have. So anyway, I ended up going with a more lame move. Bishop g4, run-of-the-mill pin, and just trying to connect my rooks and everything on the back rank. So this is okay, but I felt after the game that c5 would have been better because I got hit with something here that I did not expect. Yeah, my opponent played b4. I did not see this coming. I mean, this is a pawn sacrifice, you know? So, like, a lot of times you're like, oh, he can't go b4 because I take it. Yeah, well, one of White's main ideas is to sack a pawn back to untangle their position or grab the initiative. And that is exactly what this one does. It attacks my knight immediately. I don't have time for c5, knight c6 anymore because guess what? The knight's attacked right now, this moment. And I felt that I pretty much got to take this pawn. Then I got hit with knight e4, which forks my 2 bishops. Oh no, I'm lost. No, I'm not. I can actually just trade off a bishop. I chose this one. I like this one. It's a little more forcing. If they want to take a bishop, thank you. I'll take your rook. Thank you very much. So they actually have to take back. But unfortunately for me, they don't have the double D pawns that I was so happy about anymore. And in addition to that, they're actually attacking my bishop and my pawn at the same time. If this bishop could, you know, hop here and protect the pawn, that'd be great, but actually it's not. They're still hit. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to do here. I considered this move. Maybe this is okay, but it doesn't feel right helping White improve their position even more. And this is still a threat. And I did look at this, but look at my knight here. I think that tells the story right here. They can get more initiative with this move. My rook has nowhere good to go. I feel like White's better, and I'll ask the computer real quick. Yeah, White's plus 0.9. Yeah, and that's what I felt. I actually thought it might be more. So in the game, though, I chose this move, bishop to f5. Now that attacks the rook on e4, but the rook could take the pawn, so he did. Okay, so I had a feeling he would do this, and I did calculate this very critical move. Bishop takes d3. Now, if I have this move, I'm probably okay. And if I don't have this move, then I'm just in trouble, and I'm worse. So that's why I think bishop g4 maybe was not the right move, because it all, like, right after bishop g4, b4 hit. Like, so, yeah, so it's all very forcing from there. So I think this is the critical variation. I'm not using the engine today. I'm just showing you my game, and my 1700 brain will give us the dubious analysis. So they have a decision to make here, in my opinion. They have a few candidate moves, and I had to calculate all of them. There's rook takes a5. There's rook e3, which attacks the pinned bishop. Yeah, it's kind of pinned. And there's knight e1 attacking the pinned bishop. I'm saying it's pinned. Why? I'll show you why. Let's say White plays, I don't know, random move, and I just move my bishop away, right? No problem. It's just a trade of queens. Oh, wait a minute. That was defended by the queen. Rooks don't defend diagonally. Okay. So now you understand why the bishop's like kind of pinned. So they didn't go h3, obviously. That'd be horrible. Now I ruled out this move right away because that takes pressure off the knight. So now I really can do this, I feel. And I should be okay. And I also have knight c4 coming with tempo. So that move is just silly. So that's not a real move. I thought this was a real move though, because after rook takes a5, if I take back, they do this. And now they just won a knight and a bishop for a rook. But I kind of had to get my pawn back too. So white is still a material here. And now the question is, do I have enough activity for that 1 point of material? There's definitely rook d8. That attacks the queen. And now they must defend this pawn and defend d1 at the same time, right? Like if you just defend the pawn, I go here. That's not going to be good. But if you just go here, I can take that. Oh, wait, they can't go there. I take it. Okay, if they go here, I take this. Now I'm on the rook too. I guess they have this move. But I don't know. I feel like there might be something here. Maybe this is okay too, but all right, so queen c2. That's how I got queen c2. And in this position, which we both saw from afar, we both saw queen takes c3, which looks brilliant. But I saw farther than my opponent, I'm happy to say. And it may have won me the game because I thought if they take me, yay, I have check. But then I saw this. They have queen e1 here. I'm like, what do I do now? My rook's attacked. Okay, I can protect it. And like, okay. Like, they don't even have to take. Like, their queen's pinned, but like, I don't know. They just go here or something. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm forced to like just be down material, like a lot of material. I could take the queen, I guess, but yeah, white's winning. So that's that. So I did see that queen takes c3 doesn't work. I still allowed the variation though, because what else am I going to do? I kind of have to take this pawn. If I don't take this pawn, then yeah, I'm not doing well. So I kind of have to take, and I thought after these moves, I don't necessarily have to sack on c3. I thought maybe I have some activity here. But honestly, I was worried about this. I didn't think this looked quite right. Maybe I could fight on and get a draw, though. Okay, but anyway, they went bishop to f4. He did cite that variation after the game. And I showed him that queen e1 resource, and he was like, oh, wow. So I'm glad I actually saw that far ahead. So working with my strong chess kiddos and doing tactics is helping, especially Puzzle Rush. So he played bishop f4 just to try to consolidate his position. He's still on the knight, and he's still got stuff going on here. So I decided to play knight to c4. I mean, why not? Saves my knight out of that horrible square. Gets him active and attacks a rook at the same time. Makes perfect sense to me. I was scared of rook c5 here, but he actually didn't play it. This variation gets bonkers. But okay, instead, he went rook to e1, which I thought was a little bit passive, but at the same time, if you look at the position, it's equal material, and whose rooks are more active here? Like, this rook's got the open file. My rook does not. His bishop looks pretty active. My bishop's a little bit vulnerable. And I retreated here, which, honestly, in hindsight, I feel this might be maybe too passive. I actually felt it in the game, but, you know, I have to say, just as a human, sometimes we lose our objectivity. I was worried about this bishop for like probably 45 minutes straight because we were both calculating like crazy. So like as a human, like part of you is just like, okay, I'm sick of this bishop. Like, let's just get it safe. Like, I'm sick of calculating. Like, so I played this and I felt this is fine though. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not going to use the engine, but he went queen b3. I thought for sure he would trade pieces. And then I was going to be fairly happy with my position here. I thought this knight's more active and maybe I'm a little better here, or maybe it's equal, but either way, I live another day. But he went queen b3, which attacks the knight, so makes tons of sense. So I moved my knight away, knight b6. I want to bring the knight here, attack the bishop. That'd be nice. It also puts pressure on the pawn. I have to worry about that, but okay. Anyway, rook AD1 attacks my queen. Yeah, and now I felt the momentum switch. Like, he's definitely got the initiative now. And I think that black is maybe on the back foot a bit, so slightly worse. So if I go queen f6, I was worried about this move. Like, that doesn't look so good. And then the bishop will come here even. I don't know. I wasn't too excited about this. And if I go here, there's knight h4. And I don't know. My queen's running short on squares. So I calculated more, but I wasn't convinced this is okay for black. And it kind of gave me a bad feeling. So instead, I went queen c8. Which didn't give me a great feeling either, but I felt that the queen is more active than she looks here because I'm coming in. So he went knight h4, which I thought was wrong. I'm not sure why he didn't try something more active. I mean, maybe this is a move. I wasn't sure about this either, though. Actually, do I just have this? Probably do. Yeah, I don't know. I thought maybe, why not this move or something? I don't know, but he went knight to h4. So I took this as a chance to get my queen more active with queen g4. He takes, I take with the queen and rook d6. Yeah, and now here, like, I'm quite happy with my play from here. I do not have a history of playing major piece endgames well, and this is almost exactly that. I mean, we have a knight and a bishop, but otherwise it's all major pieces, 2 rooks for each side and a queen for each side. That would be major pieces only, but we still have a bishop and a knight as well. And here I noticed that we both have an issue, and that's our back rank. And then I noticed something from, yeah, and this is pattern recognition, I have to tell you. It was 1 part puzzle rush and 2 part martial attack. From playing the martial attack opening, I knew this move instantly because it happens in that opening constantly. And that's the move rook f to e8. And this looks funny because it's like when your queen's attacked, like maybe you should move it. But now if you take, that's checkmate. So why not take the rook, right? Yeah, take and then take the queen. Nope, still checkmate. We just reloaded that rook. So this rook f e8 move is actually very strong. It seizes the initiative and it gets my position more active. Yeah, it just takes over the game. Watch what happens from here. So from here, he just went rook ed1. I mean, what does he do? And then queen e4. Queen e4. I'm threatening checkmate again. Checkmate in 2. I mean, he probably should go h3 or something. I don't know, but the back rank is definitely a problem. But he went bishop e3. Now, you might be wondering, why that move? Well, if you do this, it doesn't stop the checkmate. And I am attacking the bishop, so they got to do something. Yeah, so h3 is bad because I just went a bishop. Sorry, I missed that. But they went here. But now that bishop's pinned, right? It's pinned to checkmate on e1. So what do we do to a pinned piece? We attack it. Now, I thought about this move, but then I saw, like, rook d4. Yeah, I don't like that. So I ended up choosing this one because it disconnects the rook, but also attacks that knight. And I'm threatening knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, check. And I might even have a mate there. There's some mates. So anyway, so here at rook d7, which looks like a good move at first. Now if I play knight takes bishop, I get checkmated. So he basically pinned my knight to a checkmate, a mate in 2. So, all right, what do I do? Well, rook ab8. I just play like Paul Morphy's. Get my last piece into the game, right? Just get my last piece into the game. Now all my pieces are working, and this is fantastic. The queen is attacked. Where can she go? There's really not a good place. I thought he was planning rook b7, and maybe he was. But after rook b7, I think I'm winning because I can take that. I did calculate this. Takes here. Check. If king h1, we have mate in 2 again. Same thing. And if king f1, I mean, give me a break. Win the rook. So this is all like looking really good for black all of a sudden, right? So he can't play rook to b7. And I did see all this. So I feel like my tactics are sharpening up from where they used to be. Even though I haven't been feeling all that well lately. Sorry to keep throwing that in. It's true, though. I think I'm getting better, though. So he played rook takes d5. And, okay, that's a queen sack, so I'll take it. And then he played, I believe, here. So now rook d4. Saving his rook from danger and attacking my queen. Yeah, oops. And I did not play that. And now it's black to move. What do you think I played here? Pause your video if you like. There's probably a lot of winning moves here, but we have to play the fanciest move. Rook to b1. I like this one. I'll sack my queen again because why not? That's checkmate. And if you don't take it, I'm also threatening checkmate here, right? Like this is not going to be good, or just trading off pieces in general. So in this position, my opponent simply resigned. Yeah, and I will go back. I actually missed one variation because I thought after, oh yeah, like I showed rook b7, but I didn't show queen a3. Like if they go queen a3, which looks logical. I mean, where are you going to put this queen, right? Can't go there, can't go there, can't go there. I take you. What are you gonna do? Look at this. That's no good. Pawn takes you. Can't go anywhere on the b file. Can't go here because of the queen. So queen a3 is basically the only move. So after queen a3, though, I thought I would play rook b1 here. This is actually my main idea. And then once again, if they take here, this is gonna be checkmate. Well, not totally, but actually totally, because after queen c1, I simply trade, and then the rook comes in. That's checkmate, and a fork, for good measure. So they can't take it, and if you can't take it, then I'm actually threatening that. And what can you do? Can't go there, can't go there. There's no way to protect anything. White's position is in shambles, and it's just because their back rank is too weak. These are all back rank tactics. Pretty simple stuff, really, but I was happy to find it in an actual chess game and sack my queen. And so after here and rook b1, my opponent did resign the game. So with my half point buy on Friday night, I was sitting at 1.5 out of 2 after this game, and I'll be back with round 3. See you then.